Hi all, it's me Anne from Geeks of Green, and today I will talk about the Asplenium Nidus, which we commonly call the bird's nest fern. So I'm going to talk about a few tips and tricks to take care of it and help it thrive. If you already own this plant or if you're planning to buy this plant, I really hope that this video will help you. Before I get into this video, a quick reminder for you to follow me on Instagram, and also if you haven't subscribed to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications of future videos as well. This bird's nest fern has been with me for quite some time now, for years, and it has been growing steadily. So definitely there is something in my balcony that is going well with it and it's thriving here. So I thought of sharing everything that I know about this plant with you guys so that you also have success with this plant. Now I would rate this plant as an easy to care for plant, not a fussy plant, not a difficult to care for. But yes, in the Asplenium Nidus family, there are some others that are extremely fussy and that are very susceptible to pests as well. So this one is the hardy one. You can go for it, I would say, without much fear, because it's an easy to keep plant. But if you're keeping the cobra fern or some other variants, just remember that it is a different thing to care for that plant because it's very prone to some pests like thrips and such. So I've lost a couple of cobra ferns, but this one keeps growing and thriving in my balcony. So now talking about the care of this plant, I would first like to talk about where do you mount it, because it's, as you can see, it's such a huge plant. You may buy it small, but it will eventually grow to be really big if it's getting the right kind of things in your house. So I would say if you plan to buy an Asplenium Nidus or a bird's nest fern, always remember it is going to grow and it needs space. So if you have a spot where you can let it spread its leaves, then go for it. If you have a small apartment which doesn't have much place, remember this one plant will take up a lot of space. Now I'm blessed with a little balcony, though my apartment is not big. I have a little balcony which has some space. So I do have some space to put this fellow up. Where I keep it is in a hanging pot on the outside of my balcony. Now when you are keeping it in hanging pots, also keep in mind that you have to think of the safety of people walking down or even your own safety when you are keeping this plant in a hanging pot. It grows big, it is heavy. So see that it is reinforced. The pot is really strong, the hook is firm, and ensure that you're taking extra care to keep it safe. Okay. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind. In its natural habitat, this plant, being an epiphyte, grows on the trunks of trees in the forest. And I have put a video sometime back about Bhumi Nursery. I did a tour there. If you watch that video, you will remember that on the trees, the owner had planted these bird's nest ferns that were growing lush and really huge because they were really happy there. That is how they are in their natural habitat. So if you can mount it, if you have a little garden, go ahead. This plant will really be very happy being mounted up on a tree trunk or something like that. So you can do that, or you can put it in a hanging pot. It does really well in hanging pots. I have never tried keeping a bird's nest fern on the floor because it is not a terrestrial plant and it's got such huge leaves that it will probably be in the way. But if you have a big garden, maybe you can try. The festive season sure does keep you on your toes, from cleaning the house, going around decorating your home, making goodies, hosting guests, visiting family. All the fun and festivities keeps you energized, but only after it is all done do you realize how taxing it has been on you. If there is one part of our body that gets stressed the most, it is our feet. Our feet bear the brunt of all the body, and as it wasn't enough, the onset of winter doesn't make it any better. Dryness, chapped skin and cracked heels are all you are left to deal with. When Vilvah sent me their foot cream, I was really relieved to find one from a reliable brand that I really trust. This is the Vilvah foot cream. It is a nourishing foot cream made with skin healing ingredients like peppermint oil, argan oil, kalonji oil, avocado butter and mango butter. With its potent natural antioxidant formula, regular application of this foot moisturizer repairs cracked heels and increases skin elasticity. It provides intense hydration, heals wounds and cuts, and stimulates tissue growth. It has antifungal properties which reduces itching and scaling as well. It also has antimicrobial properties which fights odor producing bacteria, leaving the foot refreshed. I love that it is quick absorbing and non-greasy. Vilvah is a brand that's proudly Indian, and its story can be described as a perfect harmony between Mother Nature's bountiful ingredients and future-forward clean technology. Their products contain no sulfates, no silicons, no parabens, no artificial fragrances, no glycols, no GMOs, and it hasn't been tested on animals too. You should try out their products for yourself and see the difference and be part of an initiative that makes a difference. You can use my code GEEKOPT to get a 20% discount from Vilvah's official website. Only the first 500 people to use this coupon will get this discount. Go use the link in the description to get yours right away. When we talk about the media that it needs, it being an epiphyte doesn't need much. So even if you put a very chunky mix with coco peat and bark and charcoal bits, it will be fine. So a little bit of vermicompost as well mixed in that. So it doesn't need a lot of media. And I'll tell you my experience, because this plant has been with me for a long time and I haven't repotted it from the time I got it. So it has been with me for years without me repotting it, and the whole plant media has drained out of the drainage holes. The only thing that is left is the root ball, and the plant is absolutely happy. It has not complained. So you can see that it doesn't need much soil or media around its roots. It needs its roots to breathe. It needs hydration. So we'll get to hydration when we are talking about watering. But remember, this plant is not a media hungry plant. So you can mount it any way you want. I'm not saying that go without any soil mix, but use a chunky mix that will let the roots breathe freely. Also, you need to keep in mind that this plant is a top-heavy plant. It's got a lot of weight on its leaves. It spreads out. So if you have a pot that's a little snug to hold the plant in place, or if you tie it up its root ball, then probably the chunky mix may work. Otherwise, it may not be able to hold your plant in place. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind. What worked for me is the kind of light my balcony receives is a northeast facing light. So during the summer and the rainy season, it gets a little bit of eastern exposure, but in the winters, absolutely no direct sunlight in my balcony. The kind of light that this plant is getting is indirect bright light. If it gets indirect bright light, it is happy. So it cannot sit in darkness. Complete darkness will ruin the plant. But if it's in a place where the place is absolutely lit up and bright, and even if there's no direct sunlight falling, the plant will survive. Maybe if there's too much harsh sunlight, the plant leaves may crisp, because it grows under canopy of trees. It gets a light that is broken. It's not direct harsh light. So give it light that it will love. So during winter, the exposure is much lesser than what it receives in the summer and the rainy season. And rainy season probably a little less because of the cloud cover. But yeah, much more sunlight than in the winter season. So this plant has been doing fine through winters and through all the seasons. So I believe that it doesn't need too much light, too much bright, harsh light. So if you're in a place where there is a lot of light, probably move your plant away from the light, not directly under it. So please comment down below if you have experience keeping this in a more harsh exposure. It will really help the people who are watching this video. Now in terms of water, it's a thirsty plant. As in, it may do well without water for a couple of days. It will not dramatically droop its leaves or things like that. But eventually the leaves will crisp and they'll be yellowing, they'll be spotting if you don't supply it with water regularly. In the rains, this plant does really well because there's rainwater falling directly onto this spot. And my plant is absolutely stunning and glowing in the rainy season. But in the winters and in the harsher seasons, I have to be mindful of watering it regularly, especially it doesn't have a lot of media on its roots. So if I water it regularly, the plant is perky and happy. So don't hold back in watering. And I've always said, if your media is right, your plants will not experience root rot. If there is good drainage and the water is draining out freely, the plants will not experience root rot. That's how in nature also plants get rainfall every day, but they manage because of the kind of soil that is around their roots. So be mindful of that and you will get your watering right. Now, in terms of fertilizing, seaweed solution is the best for it. I would recommend at least once a month if you're a busy person, or every 15 days if you can, to keep your plant very happy. You can also mix a little bit of vermicompost in the media itself, which will remain for some time, but always top up with a little bit of seaweed to keep your plant fertilized and happy. Now, one thing I had to be mindful of in the rainy season was slugs and snails. They kept coming and trying to eat the leaves of this plant. So be mindful of that. Pick them as and when you find them, and don't let them grow. So there is a lot of place for them to hide in between the leaves. So you can just be mindful, be observant, and pick out those slugs and snails. In terms of grooming, the plant has glossy, plasticky leaves, as you can see. It's so shiny and glossy. So if you hose it a little, it just washes off all the mud and the dirt off, and it looks as good as new. So the dust just gets washed off very easily off these leaves. So I have never had to sit down and wipe the leaves. I've never ever done that. This is only with a little bit of hosing. It looks absolutely stunning. So I would say it doesn't need much grooming, just that there will be a lot of decaying leaves at the bottom. Whenever there's new growth, the older leaves in the bottom will die out. You can just simply cut it out and keep the plant well groomed. Now, since I had removed this plant from its place, it was in my balcony for some time. I left it on the bottom and I noticed a difference immediately because I lost quite a lot of leaves from the bottom because I left it for a couple of weeks in the balcony down. So that's the reason I lost a couple of leaves, but usually so many leaves won't dry out, won't die out. One leaf here and there will keep going. That's the natural order of things. So that's absolutely okay. Don't fret or don't be worried when you lose a leaf on your plant, because that's absolutely okay. There are new leaves coming. The new leaves will always come from the center, and you can see how perky, fresh and straight they are. And yeah. So getting back to this plant, it's a very easy to keep plant and you don't have to stress too much about it. It gives a lot of joy to see it grow and spread out. So when you're buying it, just be mindful of that and don't buy it without planning ahead. Only if you have space to keep it, please buy it, because it's a plant that really will spread out and take up a lot of space in your balcony. So that's all for today, and I hope these few tips help you keep this plant happy and healthy. Also, I will be repotting this for the first time in many years into a bigger pot, and I don't know what I will be doing because it's quite a huge plant and I don't know how I'll manage it. But if you would like to see a video of that, do leave it in the comments down below and I will definitely record it. I really hope to see you soon in another video. Till then, stay green.